Welcome back to The Eager Cyclist. So riding with our kids or family members is one of the great joys of cycling, and some of my personal favourite cycling experiences have been when riding with family. So I'm a dad of two, and in this film I'm going on a short journey with my son, who was aged 7 at the time, and we're riding from Shooters Hill to Eltham in southeast London. So in this film we're going to be thinking about how I support my son when we ride together, and in particular how we position ourselves when we ride on the road. And many of the principles of how I support my son here can be applied to riding with any rider who needs support when out on the road. So it might be, for example, you've got a friend who wants to commute to work for the first time. Maybe they've never done that journey before and you can be a ride buddy for them. And I really like this concept of ride buddies. So that is when we ride with somebody who needs support, part of your role or role for each other is to help each other on the journey. And this is actually something that I talk to my son about sometimes, that it's not just I'm not just there to support him, he's also there to support me, and we work as a team when we're out on the road. So in terms of my son's cycling background, well, he started to ride during the COVID lockdown period. And we practiced in parks using his balance bike at the time. And then he fairly quickly transitioned onto using pedals. And then the next thing that was really transformative for his cycling was just cycling to an activity once a week. So in his case, cycling to his football club at the time. And that was absolutely brilliant because what it meant is that every week he was able to practice cycling. And we just cycled on traffic-free paths and on quiet roads. And it was a great way for him to develop his skills and confidence riding. So let's talk a little bit about our position when we're supporting our children when riding. As you can see from the film, I'm generally positioned behind him or sometimes alongside him on the right-hand side. And I do worry sometimes when I'm cycling in London and I see parents cycling in front of their young children. Of course, if you cycle in front of them, you can't see them and you can't easily communicate with them. So the general advice that cycling instructors across the UK would share is that it's usually better to cycle behind or alongside on the right hand side in the UK. And as you can see, that's generally what I'm doing in this film. So on this section of road, I've decided to double up on the right of my son. And the reason for that is we've got somebody behind. And I just wanted to use doubling up as a way to make it absolutely clear to that person behind to not pass us. Of course, this is a narrow residential street. This is a road called Shrewsbury Lane in Shooters Hill. And on the right-hand side there is an absolutely amazing view of London, absolutely incredible view there, which I'd recommend you check out if you're in the area. But so I'm staying doubled up here on my son's right. It's a kind of protective position, you could say. And there's been a driver waiting very, very patiently behind us. So we're going to drop into secondary position, the pass me position there. And that's just to let them through. And just really important, I feel, to say thank you for the patience in these situations when people have been waiting for a long time behind us. Now, there is, of course, the option to pull over to the side and let traffic through if they're waiting a very long time. But, of course, we're on our own journey here. So, I decided not to pull in to stop. That would have led to our journey being quite bitty. And we just continued along the way. But this is where, if people do have to wait behind us a lot, it's just really important to be grateful and say thank you to them. So at any junction, really important that we don't leave our young ones behind. So in this case, for most junctions, as you can just see there, I'm doubled up on the right-hand side, and I will never ride ahead first usually. So that could mean that if we got separated, that my son could be unsupported at the junction. So just really important to double up when you need to at junctions like that, and support our children to make good decisions at the junction, being ready to intervene if necessary. So here, this is Oxleas Woods, which is an incredible green space in southeast London. There's some beautiful ancient woodland in Oxleas Woods, some of the oldest woods in Greater London. So definitely worth checking out. And as you can see, still my son is riding in front of me as per usual. this is an opportunity to really let go a little bit and give him a bit more freedom. And that's what I tend to do sometimes in open spaces like this, where I feel he's, got less need for supervision or support. So up ahead, there's Rochester Way, which we've just crossed over, and this is a continuation of our journey. Now, the Highway Code does set out how it's illegal to ride on the pavement unless it's a cycle track or there are signs or paths stating that it's permitted. Now, this is a must in the Highway Code, so the Highway Code uses the language of musts or shoulds, and it's a must, which means that it is the law. And that all said, children under the age of 10 are below the age of criminal responsibility, so they can't actually be prosecuted for riding on the pavement. And I personally don't allow my son to ride on the pavement, but maybe you can share what you do in the comments, and if you have any personal thoughts on this. I personally think that the Highway Code should be improved to make it clearer if children can ride on the pavement, so long as they take care when doing so. Of course, pavements are for pedestrians who should have priority. And just to give this a little bit more context, there are countries in the world where cycling is permitted for children on the pavement. So we're back on some residential streets here, and just important that we ride outside of the door zone where we can. You might have spotted earlier there were some moments where my son was riding a bit close to the parked cars. Sometimes that is unavoidable if we're on a narrow road and I feel the need to double up to offer a more protective position. So if we are riding in the door zone, we do need to slow down and be prepared to stop if somebody steps out, for example, and that's something that we covered in a previous film. So we're just getting down towards a slightly busier road, which is called Glenesk Road, and as you can see, I'm still doubled up on the right. And now, all along this journey, I'm talking to my son, and I'm trying to use open questions, so I'm trying to promote independent decision-making. Of course, I'm there to offer support and supervision, and I will sometimes need to tell him what to do. But the way I communicate, or try to communicate, is to ask questions. So approaching this junction, I'm going to ask questions like, is it clear? Have we got time to go? In this situation, I needed to take over a bit. This driver opposite was kind of letting us go, but I let them go first. I just thought, hey, we're going to delay their journey otherwise. So I just thought, this is fine. So there's a nice little pro-social positive communication there. And just in terms of communication with our children, it's quite tempting to tell them what to do the whole time. Tell them when to go, tell them when to stop, tell them when to look over their shoulder. But I prefer to, where I can, use open questions. So, what do we need to do now? There's a parked car. Put the question to them, get them thinking for themselves, and that will help them hopefully build independent decision-making and independent skills for cycling on the road. So we're just approaching the end of our journey now, and just passing a couple of side roads. As usual, usually cycling in primary position past the side roads, and I'm still doubled up to offer kind of supervision and to offer a protective position for my son. Turning left here, and I'm doing the signalling. You might have spotted that I'm doing the signalling on this journey. The reason for that is my son, even though he's riding really well for his age here, he is still a little bit wobbly with one hand. That's completely normal, and it's just something that we need to practice a bit more in the park together. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this film. What I would recommend you do is, if you're interested, is check out the first film on the channel. That's on-road fundamentals, so the basics of how to cycle on the road in the UK. So I definitely recommend you check out that film, and it maybe think about watching that film with your child. It will help them learn about how we apply the 4 key skills when cycling on the road. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.